Check out this clip from Robert Breedlove and why he's saying central banks are the problem.
We printed $6 trillion in 2020, right, in the U.S. Average annual U.S. salary is $60,000, roughly. That's 100 million years stolen, right, through the counterfeiting of currency. If each human works from the age of 20 to 70, so that's about 50 productive years per human, the counterfeiting of $6 trillion USD equals the stealing of 2 million human lives worth of productive labor, right? This is to try to make it real, like it's a real massive problem. And then of course the plausible deniability that's built into inflation, right? It's Putin's fault. It's Beyonce's fault. It's the supply chains. It's everything but the central bank.
And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Getting straight into it, taking a look at the overall cryptocurrency market capitalization. At the current time of this recording, we're coming in at $1.67 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is falling off a cliff, 49.9K. Ethereum dominance, 17%. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price, Bitcoin USD on the daily coming in at 42.3K at the current time of this recording. Zooming out on the macro, this is on the weekly chart. We see that we could be forming, we showed you this before, we could be forming some type of inverse head and shoulder pattern. If this plays out, when the Bitcoin spot ETF comes, we actually could come up and make a new all-time high. There's a lot of euphoria in the market, but we'll have to get a little bit of a pullback and a cool off. When that happens, that could come down and form this second shoulder, and that would be the inverse head and shoulders pattern. Where this technical target would take us up to would be roughly a $320,000 Bitcoin. Is this what we see in the charts? If we look at the peaks and connect them all, will we get any confluence there as well? Let's get to the top of the 2017 peak and then connect it with the 2021 peak and then pull this up to see if this could have any type of confluence. Well, that would be overshooting. That would take it up to about 260, but it's all in the realm of possibility if this plays out in this fashion. So pay attention. We're just getting started, and you see here if we pull this RSI up as well, this will also be stretching into 2025. So even if Bitcoin does have a cool off eventually, or a micro mid-cycle top before we have a little bit of a pullback, we could then get ready to ramp up and blast off to the races after the halving. Total 3, what do we see? Definitely bullishness. One thing we want to show you is the fib extensions from the bottom to the tops, from the floors to the bottoms of the previous cycle. We see here this mid-cycle peak actually came up to that 0.5 level, around that $100 billion market capitalization. So where is that at right now? So we have to be mindful because there is 2 peaks. This could have been the peak here. This could have been the peak there. Now, if we look at the Elliott waves, we have 1, 2, 3. That's the 5th leg, and then this could be some type of A, B, C, D, E correction before we start to then create a base. So if this was the peak, the 0.5 level, if we zoom into the price action, what do we see? The 0.5 level would take us up to roughly the $38 billion range, $36 billion range. We almost come up and wicked up to that perfectly. So are we going to have a cool off going into the halving? And will this be a post-halving opportunity to buy into the alt market? That could be what's in the cards. But if this was the peak, this is considered the peak here, you see that we still have a little bit of wiggle room to the upside, $576 billion for the alt market before we hit our head and then potentially have that pullback. So keep this in mind as well. Total 3 USDT, we've had the breakout, and you see we came back up and retested this upper bound where this wedge started to form perfectly. Could we have a downtrend to retest this before having a continuation? That could be what's in the cards, but looking at the RSI, you see that higher highs and higher lows have been established. Even if we come down to this macro trend line, you see that this is going to continue to stair step its way up going into the beginning of 2025. So you just want to be patient. By the end of next year, early Q1 of 2025, we could be seeing some massive moves. Stock Mini Lizard agrees. He's saying 2024 has so many catalysts for Bitcoin. January, ETF approval. March, Fed start to cut rates. April, the halving. June, markets and crypto assets law EU. August, X payment implementation. November, US elections. And December, FASB for Bitcoin. So keep this in mind. 2024 is going to be definitely a bullish year. As you see, we could have this 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level hit before Bitcoin cools off going to the halving, but then the same thing happened in 2018 going into 2021, a cool off, but then blast off to the races. Blasting off to the races will make a multi-$100,000 Bitcoin price target. An update from El Crypto Prof, he's calling the same for altcoins. They're on the verge of a golden cross on the Ghana EMA. So what he's showing you here is every time that this green line passes over this red, blast off over the next year. Every single time this happens, blast off over the next year. Look what just happened. This is about to cross. Over the next year, we're going to see that macro move to the upside. So position yourself in the alt market right now would be the best time to get in. Don't worry about the short-term volatility. You will get pullbacks in the market. You will see that, but you will also get massive moves to the upside. Solana, there's been a lot of Solana news lately, and we've been talking about this. And if you look here, Solana came up and almost touched and wicked into this 0.786 level almost perfectly, hitting over 121.59. And right now, we're still looking bullish. We could still see a brief pullback or a cool off with Solana. We could come back down to the lower 90 range before ultimately getting that fifth leg run up, maybe with the Bitcoin spot ETF approval in January. Then we'll go into somewhat of a consolidation, maybe a downtrend. This could be leg one, leg two pullback, leg three, getting ready to blast off. Could we see a $200, $500, $1,000 Solana? It's all in the cards. Hold on and be patient. Comparing Solana to the macro big caps, you see, if you see here, the previous all-time high when it came to BNB was broken. And if we come up and just pull this across, we see that we did come past this and actually flip this resistance to support. We could have come all the way back down to this. Where's the technical target going to go for this? If this plays out, this could be looked at as some type of messed up looking head and shoulders pattern, but either way you cut the cloth, definitely still looks bullish. The RSI is still in the uptrend. The trend's your friend to the end. And you see right now we just bounce, bounce, bounce. Could we get this bounce up? Could we see a higher level to the upside? Solana could continue to outperform macro L1s and keep solidifying a spot in the top 5. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.